we really wanted to go into the studio and play like we did when we were kids, just get in a rehearsal place, get all the best musicians that you know, and press record and just let the magic of music do their job.
Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes in our old friend Martin Lopez of So. And how are you today, my pal?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm so good. It's great to see you. We chatted about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, about Imperial. So much has happened since then. Toward the World, Atlantis Project, huge hit single, Slipknot cover. You know, I feel like the band is getting the due respect, maybe the overdue respect that it has deserved. And obviously, we now have a new album to discuss, Memorial, coming out September 1st on Silver Lining Music.
Yeah, well, it's nice to be back, and yeah, a lot of things have happened now. I actually, I don't know if I realize now when you start naming everything that we have done in this short period of time. It's a lot, and it's really good, man. I mean, it's Imperial open a lot of new doors for us, and we have been touring like crazy and meeting a lot of beautiful people out there, and truly being accepted by new markets like the US and South America. So it's all good.
We were waiting for that tour for so long because of everything to get you here back to the States. It was really great. It was great.
It was a great thing for us too. We had to wait because we didn't want to get there and do something just play bad venues with bad sound, and we're at this point in our careers, in our lives, when we actually want to present the band with the value and the worth that it has. So we waited and
nice. And of course I felt like the Atlantis record and project was so special. I wanted to ask you if that had any impact on the writing of the new record, or was that all done previous to that project?
I think it did. I think, well, as our music turns more metal and the world evolves the way it is, it's been you kind of go into the studio normally with a mentally prepared to reach perfection, or be as close as you can from perfection, which means you record things 1,000 times, you go through every little detail and just have to polish everything. You know how that is, and we really wanted to go into the studio and play like we did when we were kids, just get in a rehearsal place, get all the best musicians that you know, and press record and just let the magic of music do their job. And get also that it's the nervousness that comes up when you do something like that, because you're not allowed to fuck up. It's a real it's a test. Even if you've been a professional musician for 25 years, it's a very rewarding thing. But it was so magical to actually just start playing, and how all of these details, thoughts about sound or groove or whatever just disappeared, and you could just fucking get in there and feel the music. It was a very, very rewarding thing.
That sounds amazing. I don't feel like you have ever been a player that overplays, but I feel like as a drummer, to play with a string group is so treacherous, right? You're just so conscious of overlapping and overwhelming the sound of the strings, especially with cymbals and hi-hats, right? With the top register of drumming sounds and timbres. Like, it's so tricky, I feel like, to do it live. Right?
It is. It is, but I think that's part of being a musician, to find your place in the music, to find how, because as a drummer you have a lot of the tension of the music is very much depending on the way you need to play soft when it's soft, and you need to play hard when it's hard. Not too hard because you're all over the place. It's I don't know, it could be complex, but honestly, I feel very at home with that. I always played in bands that have many heavy and soft passages, and I truly love the dynamics. And also knowing that I play with very capable musicians, I actually could relax. I could relax like never before in that hour in that studio.
Right on. And so now we come to Memorial, and it's just it encompasses everything. It's over 10 years as a band and so many releases, and I feel like your latest album is always like a summary of everything that came before. And I feel like there's so many bangers on this record, and I just want to shout out Cordy. because I feel like, and we chatted with him also in the past before the tour, the last US tour. We got a brief chat in with him just to kind of recap things. And he really came to play on this record, man. So many not too many riffs, but so many fresh and killer and fun, interesting riffs.
Cordy is an amazing player. It's such a humble, nice guy also, which normally when you meet players that are that good, they tend to have a little bit of an ego, which isn't strange. But this guy is just so open, and it's so easy to work with him. And I was thinking about it a couple of days ago. We were listening with Joe, listening through the album, and came to realize that he's playing on this album, and just having in mind that he just joined 2 albums ago. He's become such a huge part of our sound, and it's truly a pleasure to be playing with him.
Well, it sounds like it. So so many things to unpack and talk about. Joel also really outdid himself, lyrics, vocals, everything. We've been listening to this record pretty much on a loop around the headquarters, as well as everything else. But let's do a little track by track of Memorial, and whatever you feel like sharing. I'll shout out the titles, you share whatever you want. So the record begins with Sincere. It's a really cool opener.
Yeah, Sincere. It's it felt like a song to open the album. Many reasons. It's I love the groove. It's very Soanish, and the lyrics are simple, about honesty, and about the new generations desperate seeking for attention, and this desperate seeking to be famous, whatever the cost. Like something that most of us, I guess, can't relate to, and just the conquest, the chasing of money and attention, and how that has become the life of a lot of people. And this is a song that, I don't know, tries to remind everyone that what we have inside and who we really are, and the importance of that, because one of these days you'll be there, your life will be 70 years old, and you'll be lying in your bed and realizing you've fucking just been an actor your whole life. Clown.
Already one song in, dropping wisdom, my man Martin. Unbreakable is the second track on the album.
Unbreakable, very heavy track. Also for me, a very Soanish kind of picks up where we left in Imperial. I think Joel sings amazingly. I mean, this is vocal line where not much happens, but the intensity on his voice is really good, really great. Lyrics are about simple, about not following any kind of ideology blindly. It's okay to have an ideology and to guide yourself, to help you through life if that's what you think you need. But just to listen to everyone, that not to believe that what you choose is always the right answer, because age has taught me you're very sure about the answers until you're not. So just keep an open mind.
Well said. Violence is the third track on the album.
Violence is a kind of a different song for us. And it's a song that we worked a lot around. We had it in different, we played it with different grooves, and we played it heavier, and we played it softer, and kind of had to overanalyze it, and turn out we just had complicated it, and sometimes along the way we just felt that we lost the song, so we came back and started really working on it, and just to keep the core of the song, and however we need to play as much or as little that has to be done, do that for the song. And it's I think it's an amazing song, and it's a very different song for So, and that's always interesting to see how people will react to that.
I cannot wait to hear it live. I know it's gonna kill.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, probably a great moment in the set. Fortress is the next track.
Fortress, that's 100% Soen, right? It's Soen up tempo, feels like a live song, very straight. Lyrics are, of course, about what we write about, I get the existential questions that we all have. what are we doing? How do we get out of here? How do we find something to do? How do we find happiness and unity and all that? And it's I think it's the most Soen song of all the songs, and probably one of the first we wrote also.
Oh, good to know. I'm always curious about albums used to get written kind of one at a time, and then it was the order you got them in on the finished album. Now we can, we have grown as writers. We can do whatever we want. Hollowed is the next track.
Hollowed turned out to be a ballad. It wasn't a ballad in the beginning. It was a more of a mid-tempo, heavy rock song, but then we just guiding ourselves in the lyrics that we had, we felt that we didn't reach the dramatic intensity that song needed to have, and we didn't know why, so we decided to try that as a duet, to introduce something completely different to the song, to see if it would work. And this fantastic singer, Italian singer, Elisa, recorded the vocals, and it turned out great.
She's so good. I want to make sure that I connect with the PR and link her wherever we can find her on the internet in the description of this interview, because she is sensational.
She's not known in the US, but she's huge. She's a lot bigger than we are in Italy. She's an Italian singer.
Well, she was incredible, and the mix of just her mix of voice with the music is amazing. Unbelievable. Probably one of my top 3 tracks on the new record. And of course, the title track, Memorial, comes next. What can you say? A title track is usually like the thing that binds everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, Memorial was that's the thing with this album, that I started writing very early, and somewhere along the way that the war in Ukraine happened, and then this revolution in Iran. I don't know if you remember Masha Amini, this girl that was beaten, one of many, but the first one that was beaten to death by this pseudo police that they have in Iran for not using her hijab, and those things really got to us, and I think the album from there started to take a different path. I don't know if that really fueled the album towards some. There was a lot of anger and a lot of disappointment in humanity, and I think Memorial was one of those tracks that really got tainted by that, and we felt, we felt we got a right. We felt that we just have to be direct and straight. No time for nice introvert poetry or fancy drum licks. Just we did the heaviest that we could, with the cleanest and most direct message that we could about war in this case. And Joel really went into that studio like a demon and recorded those vocals extremely heavy, and also a different kind of track for us, for Soen, and I really do love those songs. I think it's a very heavy on the heart, very heavy on the heart. At the same time, it has a beautiful ending. The lyrics in this case are about someone who's sent to a war and comes back with PTSD, and what all that does with the person and his family and friends, and so
tough stuff. But I'm glad that you made that song. The next track is Incendiary.
Well, Incendiary, Memorial, and Icon, those 3 songs are lyrically, and it's just, we are talking about war or conflicts, and we have different points of view from the same conflict. So in Memorial, you have the soldier going to war and coming back with PTSD. On Incendiary, the people who are living in this area, who are being invaded by this person, and how they see him or her. And on Icon, it's from the parents' perspective, brother, sister, parent, from the family's perspective, who are sending a loved one to this war to defend whatever the government feels it's needed to be defended. And on Incendiary, it's also I think it's a very Soenish, nice chorus, really cool riff in the verse. You have to hear it.
Right. I believe by the time this interview runs, everyone will get the chance to hear the record, so I'm super excited. The next track is Tragedian. I hope I said that correctly.
Tragedian. It's your language, man.
I don't know. I'm from
I
New
don't
York
know
City. I don't know how to speak correct English
I
even.
would I would say tragedian, but I'm not sure.
Nice work. Lay it on me. What's the other three songs make a sweet kind of what this song's in the middle.
Yeah, and we put it there because within all this hatred and anger, it's nice to also always to go back to reflect and just kind of this eternal searching for the meaning of life and then it's something that because I think it's something that we're looking or just something that we look for ourselves in our lives, and Tragedian felt like a good breath of fresh air to sit down, relax, reflect a little, and then I think Icon comes, right? And then we're back to
Right, exactly. Very well. I like it. I like the sequencing too. I think that matters. And then so we discussed Icon. Let's go to the final track, Vitals.
Vitals. It's also a very different song for us, even if it's so niche because it's a mellow track. It's a very very dark song. Feels very very deep, and we chose it as the last song because it leaves you completely relaxed, and it's the kind of song, I don't know if this happens to everyone or it's just me, but there's songs where you listen to those songs and the day changes, everything is different after that, you're in a bubble, and this song makes me feel that. And the lyrics are about in this very case it's about disease in this case disease through addiction, and two people kind of living through that hell, you know?
Right on. One thing that always stands out to me in the whole history of Soen music is as angry or aggressive or sad as the music can be at times. It's always, I don't know if it's the whole band, if it's Joel, if it's you, but there's always kind of an optimistic little bit of hope in every record. It's never totally bleak and just, no hope. It's always something inspirational that I take away. I hope everyone else listening feels the same, but that's how it makes me feel. What do you think about that?
I feel that is very important to fight for the things that you think are unjust, and to chase that happiness and that fairness in the world, and I know there's a lot of shit around there. And the world is unjust, and there's people starving, all of this. But at the end of the day, I think that as long as you fight, you're optimistic, and you cannot really give up. And I think music is supposed to be a tool for you, a weapon to go into that battle. You know how it was when you were younger, and certain albums, you maybe were walking in a certain part of town where you were afraid and could put that Sepultura album, and you just felt strong. You still will get your ass kicked, as with or without listening to the album, probably more with listening to the album because you're not aware of but I love that. I mean, music just helped me through life in millions of occasions, and I want to try to provide that to whoever listens to our music.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing that memory. What was your first Sepultura album, by the way? What was the first one for you?
Schizophrenia.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, it's magical.
Yeah, for real. Martin Lopez, always one of my favorite people to interview in all of music. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and Ghost Cult today. Memorial comes out September 1st on Silver Lining Music. And once again, my friend, I will see you on the road, hopefully next year.
Yeah, please come by and say hi. Let's arrange that so we can hang out a bit.